like pieces like this around it. I'm just like, why did I keep this? I think I'm just gonna be, it's gonna be one of those ASMR paper bits, so I'll leave that by the desk to cut up in a second. And I'm making all sorts of noise, aren't I? That picture has nothing on it, so I'll roll that up and use it. So this one is one of mine. I did ages ago. Sometimes when I don't know how to start a project or have any ideas in mind, I just make loads of marks on a piece of paper. This just happens to be one of them. I really liked ink and charcoal, and also graphite stick, so they work pretty well on top of each other's surfaces. Hello. Coming to help me. So that one will be rolled up with left-handed, right-handed negative space, which is one of my favourites methods. Back in 2014, jeez, makes me feel old. Even more during today again. Rip that page a bit. I put all the ones I'm keeping into this folder if they can fit. And anything rest I'll just roll up and put it with my spare bits of paper. Okay, so it is now the next day because due to the lighting, so I'm just going to give you a quick run through of my studio, basically, after it's been nice and tidy. I do have to admit I did do a drawing video, so at least there's not much mess at all. But okay, so we're going to start from the top. This is the actual studio space where I make work. When you see me filming, I'm using this kind of freaky ass tripod, which is kind of, I bought it from Amazon. It was about £15. It was actually that bad, but I used to use a tripod, and obviously you could see the legs of it, and it's so much easier to use. Apart from when you shake the, like, if you knock the table, it sends a vibration, and it just makes it vibrate like that, and it's just dead annoying because you've got to cut it out because I don't want to make anyone sick from motion sickness. So yeah, so this desk is from Argos. I think it was about £60. I've had it for about a year, and it's just covered in paint and resin and other weird bits and pieces. I've got a collection of acrylic paints and also some of my tools that I use in my everyday projects. Also got some nail varnish because why not? My 2 studio books. I've got an A4 and an A3. It is pretty much best paper that I've ever used. I won't ever use any other bits of paper. It's quite handy because this board on the back is from IKEA. It's called Scull, and you can buy like little pots and then frames, and then I've just got this like 2 little hooks that I use to put my sketchbooks on, because it just helps having it out and about and not on the desk, because then paint can flick onto it, as you can see on the backs of them. I know I should probably organise this a bit better, but they're going to be used and then they'll be gone and in the bin, and I don't have to worry about it. On the top I've got 2 shelves. I bought these from B&M. They're about £5 each actually. I think this one's the larger one and then this is the smaller £5 one. Can't quite remember how much they were, but I mean, I needed shelves. I could probably use another one just a bit further up, but we'll see. Because I feel like any space on the wall is needed. Just got little bits and bobs. I've got some of the circular resin pieces, as well as more tools, some pencils, and then loads of little pots. I use for acrylic pouring and resin pouring. I've also got some like bits for oil painting that I actually haven't had a chance to use yet because I haven't touched painting for such a long time. I feel kind of guilty about that, but it will eventually come around. I'll eventually get back into it. Got some watercolors, my printing ink that I use for printing. Pretty simple. A wall cutter, a paper cutter, a glass jar with some terps in it just to help my brushes. This I got from IKEA, like I think it was like 10 years ago or something. I tried to paint it a different colour to make it look kind of new and fancy, but it didn't really work. As you can tell from the colour, it's quite old. It used to be like that colour. That was like its primary colour, but over the years it's just worn down. Useful. I keep like pretty much loads of little bits and pieces in here. I've got tissues because you need it. I've got gloves. I've got, what if I stand up for this? Got all of my oil paints into here, and on the very top I've just got my bigger one and bits of paper and pension files because I need them. On top I've got some perfume, why not, some charcoal and chalk, a resin circle piece that is currently being filled up, more pots, and then a container for when I want to mix oil paints and I don't want to put it onto the canvas just yet. This is some leftover dry clay, eyeshadow palette for resin pours. And on the actual desk we have a load of printing lino prints, some white chalk, my roller, some lino pieces that I haven't used yet. Very good. Second drawer down, I've got all my mixed media pieces. It does look like a state, but don't worry, I do stack these properly so they won't stick to each other nor damage each other when I take them out. I've got so many of them because I make them pretty much once a week. And then at the very bottom I've just got like the mystery drawer. I've got some hairspray which I use for when I use charcoal because it sets the charcoal onto the paper and means it doesn't smudge as much. I've just like these fancy pens I haven't had a chance to use. They're very, very old. I don't know if anyone knows how to use them. Yeah, underneath here I've got my massive bag of skins, resin and acrylic, my tripod, that massive eyeshadow palette some of you might recognise if you've seen drying video of epoxy. Like I said before, my acrylic paints. I've got some more spare over there, and then I've got like my resin underneath because it's out of direct sunlight, with a couple pots. Nothing too fancy. I've got some plaster at the very bottom if I need to use plaster. Over here I've got my degree certificate, one of my artworks. I've got all my perspex up here from using, well, when I've used acrylic pouring or when I'm doing printmaking. Then I've got some acrylic paints, some silicone. I need to put up the curtain in this room to make it less echoey and also to keep the heating because obviously this year heating's going to be quite expensive. On this second shelf I've got all the bits of paper that I've chopped up to use as collage, front and back, and then I've got two canvases which you may recognise. This is normally like the shelf where I'm either like I put the bits that need to be finished off or bits that need to be listed onto my eBay selling account, which are these. And these I just want to resin over them just to make them extra shiny and cool. In the bottom shelf I've got my tax folder, my printer, and then a case which I'll quickly show you. I used to house all of my oil paints, but I ran out of room, so I've only put a couple in here. I've put kind of like the overflow ones because I've always got like loads of blue because I don't actually use blue that much, which is kind of weird because blue is like one of my favourite colours to use. And I've got like this Perspex palette which I can use if I don't want to use the silver circle bits and pieces, if that makes sense. And that fits nicely underneath there. The whole cabinet bit is from IKEA again. I think it was about £45. I can't quite remember what it's called, but I'm sure if you look it up you will see it. It's got its really nice brown top, which you can't see because I put the perspex there. Over here we've got the paper corner and some finished artworks. Like I said, I do make sure these are protected if they go against another artwork. I do make sure they are protected. I wouldn't actually stick them together because I do want to make sure they are protected because they are my works and they are, some of them are up for sale. All the bits of paper here do have some art, but some of them are actually just plain paper. Like this one's an artwork, and then you've got just rolls of bits of paper. Got a fire alarm because this has been taken out because of the hallway, and then just some more boxes. Over here on my massive wall, you've got a fancy ass light switch and a couple of canvases that need to be used up. I've only just put this one over here. It is finished, but I ran out of room over there because I need to sell some more artwork to get some more artwork in. So if any of you want to buy some artwork, I'll leave a link in the comment section if you see anything you like. It's most likely to be on sale, but I just thought I'd just say it. Yeah, so some of these canvases are going to be used and reused, like this back one. It's very loose, so I want to take the canvas bit off and restaple it to make it a bit tighter so I can actually use it. I've got this massive cactus. It's meant to be in the hallway again, but it's staying in here for a bit. 2 TTS extra bits of acrylic paint. Got a keyboard, which isn't on at the moment. I don't actually play music that well. I don't know music at all. I just find it's something nice to just go over to and just have it just for me. Can play the piano a little bit, not too much. I'm not an expert at all, but it's just nice to have something that I can do outside of art, not have to worry about what I sound like and how bad I am. Okay, so I've got this easel as well, if you notice it right in front of it. I've had this probably since I was 15, 16, so it's about almost 10 years now. I bought it originally from the works, and it's done really well because it folds up really nice and neatly. You can take it outside as long as it's not raining, and it's just dead cool. It was about 20 quid when I bought it. I don't know how much it would be now. In this corner I've got all of my packaging that I use to send bits and pieces out. I keep all my packaging because now and again when I sell bigger artworks I've got to wrap it really well, because I've got a couple spare artworks down here. I've got some wallpaper, which, as you might tell from the little sample, I'm going to put onto the wall. I don't know if you can see it. It's yellow as well, but I thought I wanted to put something fancy on the wall because blue needs to change because it makes the room a bit dull. Over here we have a massive yellow wall with 3 different artworks on. This one's actually taken from a picture on Instagram from someone I follow, and I just thought it looked cool, so I just painted it instead. Got some still life of oranges. It was a bit abstract and I didn't know whether I liked it, but in the end I did. So I thought I'll keep it up there for now and see if I like it. I think I do. It's quite weird to see it next to yellow, but I think it goes really well with it. And then I've got my landscape one from Turkey. Cannot remember the name of it. I can never pronounce it either, so I'm just gonna write it down in the description box if you want to see that, because I've actually got videos of me painting it in stages, if any of you are interested. I have like a day bed in here as well. You can see it's also from IKEA, if you're wondering. And 2 folders which contain a lot of artwork. I did mention this before, but any artworks that I have touching, they are protected, and I make sure if they don't need protection, then obviously I put them together, because some of them are dry and don't break as easily as others. The ones that do have like a plastic sheet or a spare piece of paper in between, just like the charcoal ones, because like I mentioned before, they do smudge. And the last thing you want is an artwork which is really nice on the front but then has like a print of a charcoal drawing on top of it. We have also one of my cats. This is Link. He just sleeps all the time. This bed does actually get covered. I don't know if you can see this. It actually gets covered in so many hairs. Hello. I know. It gets covered in so many like cat hairs, so I either have to change it or vacuum it up because it's just a mess. That was a mess, isn't it? Underneath the, oh, what do you call it? Sofa bed, I completely forgot what it is. I have a load of artworks that, again, I have put on top of each other, but I've made sure that they are not going to stick together. I've got like acrylic pour, like loads of acrylic pours underneath all this one. Same for in this drawer as well. I've got a couple of paintings as well. Any of you might recognise them. They're all kind of styled into what and where I can fit in. I do have a folder with larger prints in, as well as a big box where I put some of the small ones in because I want to keep them from getting lost. A couple of framed bits of artwork as well, which is great. And then finally in this one I've got quite a few of the resin pours. Again, I make sure they're not sticky before putting them in, because the worst thing is getting sticky resin pours and then you rip them off and then you damage them and then you can't do anything with it. But yeah, I'm so glad I have these 3 drawers because they make it so much easier to store all the space. Even though they are quite small, you can fit quite a lot in there, and I'm desperately trying to like empty them out by either selling them or reusing them to then use as gifts or anything like that. That is it. That is my full studio tour. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously there will be a couple changes as we go on. And it is quite small. It's only basic, but I can do quite a lot in here. Considering the amount of space, I do have to put some bits and pieces onto the floor, which is why this bit of carpet here is covered in little pink spots, but you know, it's what happened. I forgot to mention this carpet is also from IKEA. I think it was like £8 or something. And then the chair is actually a gamer's chair from August. It's pretty comfy. I mean, it's a chair, you just sit on it. That's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a like and subscribe to see more videos like this. If you'd like to comment on anything or there's anything I've missed, please leave it in the comment section below and I will do my best to answer it for you. My voice is starting to get a bit weird. I've been talking way too much. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and I shall see you guys next time.